Everybody, welcome to The Balancing Act. I'm Julie Moran.
And I'm Olga Villaverdi.
All right, today, help for parents who want to start a family.
That's right. If you're going to start a family, you have to know about Earth-friendly diapers and wipes.
Yes,
we've got that for you.
And Broadway balances America. Jesus Christ Superstar. We have all that.
How does that song go?
Jesus Christ, go.
Superstar.
The Balancing Act starts right now. We can't really sing, but we're trying. Jesus Christ.
Today, Broadway Balances America explores Jesus Christ Superstar.
That's right. Amber visits the team behind the new touring production that's putting a modern spin on the classic story.
Take a look.
With music and lyrics by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, the legendary score reflects the rock roots that defined a generation.
One of the oldest stories ever told comes alive for modern audiences with an award-winning score and an edgy new look.
It goes back to the roots of the album. It almost feels like a rock concert. Like when the cast comes out, you're not really sure who's who. You're not sure who's Jesus or Judas. It looks like a band coming out. The guy has a guitar slung over his shoulder. And then you hear that iconic, that motif, you know, when that starts kicking. So it's that beautiful combination of just viscerally being hit by music and then visually being swept up in the story that made this one so special.
Reinventing the production design, orchestrations, and choreography for this classic story is paramount to the 50th anniversary tour, elevating its status from rock album to epic music event.
Tom Scott did the scenic design of the show. The idea is that maybe you stumbled on a ruin and that there was a cross that was upright that fell over and broke and now is kind of embedded in the ground.
It's a piece of theatre and a piece of storytelling which feels actually incredibly contemporary. The actors, the performers also have to play instruments, but they also have to dance to a really, really high level. And the kind of performance style or the acting style is actually incredibly authentic. So what we require of the performers is a sense of originality and truth to their own being.
Playing the title role, Aaron LaVagne stars as Jesus Christ.
It's an honor. Like, I couldn't be happier that they chose me to do this. One thing that I'm looking to explore is to bring a human aspect to that he was a man, that he was friends with people, that he was in this tribe of people that he knew and loved and traveled with. People have this idea of who these people are, who Jesus is, what he should look like, what he should sound like. At the end of the day, we're vessels telling this story.
How do you breathe new life into playing Jesus?
The key is to keep it fresh, keep the moments real, keep them honest. It's just such a pleasure to sing this iconic score from Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice. I mean, I think it's going to be a really special experience.
Actor James DeLisco Beeks plays the key figure of Jesus' best friend and betrayer, Judas Iscariot.
Judas opens up and he says, "My mind is clear now." He sees the bigger picture and what a lot of his followers don't see. Christ actually tells him, you have to do this. He sets into motion what's going to happen. It's an intense ride. Judas' conflict and his love for not only himself, but for Jesus and for his people, you know, and it's quite a compelling story.
Balancing out the cast is the pivotal female confidant, Mary Magdalene, actress Jenna Rubai.
It's important to portray her as really the counterpart of Jesus, the feminine to his masculine, and there's so much of that in the divine that I think it's important to really show that she was a devout follower and really understood his teachings, and that I think he saw that in her too. It's a rock opera, but this is the most theatrical story of all time. Right. Yes. So for it to be set to rock music that is popular and relatable, I think that it just makes it that much more epic.
And this epic story remains relevant 50 years later.
The startling relevance to the production is actually the idea of who do you follow? Who is your leader, whether that be a leader of faith or a leader of government or a leader of fashion, a leader of music. Our character of Jesus Christ is this like the new kid, getting all those followers. And that all these other people, these other like rock legends are like, what has this person got that I don't understand? It's this new wave.
But I think it's in the storytelling of Jesus, of Judas, of the apostles, of the experience, of the intensity, of the mob mentality that this became. I think that's where the drama unfolds.
You don't have to be religious to be inspired by the story and the music and just go to a night of theater and enjoy it. But I think if that's meaningful in your life, then you're also getting that additional element of it telling that story that's so meaningful to so many people.
So whether you're a devotee or discovering the story for the first time, there's something for everyone to enjoy.
You're gonna walk out inspired, you're gonna walk out joyful and gleeful, and it's great to introduce it to a new generation.
I think that just being able to bring that music and life back to a modern audience is gonna be incredibly important for them to be able to hear it with fresh ears. Get ready for one of the most wild experiences you will ever see theatrically.
You're getting rock concert, you're getting dance, you're getting a good story told, the greatest story that's ever told. So you're getting it all.
And this is really a great opportunity to come to the theatre and realise that musicals can be extremely cool and that you can be surprised by something you thought you knew deeply and intimately, be made to see it in a brand new way. And I think that is something that should not be missed.
You want to feel something, you want to let yourself go, you want to be suspended in that moment to see something. So come and let that happen.
The North American tour of Jesus Christ Superstar is coming soon to a theater near you. Check out Broadway across America, or you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com, for all the show information, tour dates, and more.
Go behind the scenes of your favorite Broadway tours with Broadway Balances America. Get an inside look at Jesus Christ Superstar, Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville, the band's visit, and Summer, the Donna Summer musical, before they come to a city near you.
The path to conception, especially via in vitro fertilization, can be emotionally and physically difficult. But new innovations are helping improve the odds of having a healthy baby. We traveled to Chicago, Illinois to see how cutting-edge technology that tests for genomic alterations during the IVF process changed the life of one woman forever. Take a look. It's a typical day for Lori Seward, a field-based employee of Thermo Fisher Scientific, making calls before she heads out to meetings.
I have always, since a young age, been interested in science, specifically biology. I have a bachelor's degree in biology and a master's degree in biotechnology. I've always been in the scientific industry. Out of college, I was a bench scientist, been in the genomics industry. Currently, I'm a sales specialist in the genetic sciences division at Thermo Fisher Scientific. So I work with leading hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and academics. Thankfully, I was able to learn a lot about the genetics industry, and it changed my life forever.
In the course of her job, she learned from researchers and publications about advances being made in genetic testing and reproductive health.
I was able to educate myself on the screening tools that are available for inherited diseases, and I learned more about the tools available where I could increase the chances of having a successful outcome.
But starting a family wasn't on her immediate agenda.
I was traveling the world for my job, I was developing my career, and it wasn't really until I was about 37 or so that I thought, wow, maybe I think I might want to have a child one day. I'm not ready yet. I know as you get older, the egg quality diminishes over time. So I was a little bit worried about that. So I wanted to get started sooner rather than later. So that's when I reached out to Fertility Centers of Illinois and froze my eggs.
She met with Dr. Brian Kaplan, who would guide her along her reproductive journey.
So Lori came in at 38 years old, and she decided, I'm going to freeze my eggs. That's a dramatic decision. That's a technology that's right in its infancy. You don't know if those eggs are going to survive, so that's a big decision for a woman to make at that time on your own. So she did IVF. You have to do the first part of IVF, where we stimulate the eggs, we retrieve the eggs. We got 8 eggs the first time. We then froze again a few years later, twice more, and we had a total of 14 eggs.
At age 43, Lori was ready to start her family as a single mother by choice. Even with 14 frozen eggs, she knew her chances were slim. 11 survived the thaw. It was time to use the advances in genetic testing to her advantage, beginning with the donor sperm.
I chose a donor that had gone through expanded carrier screening. Eye color wasn't important to me, ethnicity, it really was based on the genetic profile, and the expanded carrier screening resulted in a clean profile so that he was not a carrier for any known inherited diseases.
In other words, expanded carrier screening allowed her to identify sperm donors that were not carrier of single gene mutations, therefore, in combination with her own carrier status, reducing the risk of having a child with known inheritable conditions. And this also is applicable for couples trying to conceive. Similarly, couples can benefit from knowing their own carrier statuses and decide on their reproductive options if they both happen to have the same gene mutations.
Evolution of genetic technology allows us to maximize taking home a healthy baby and preventing disease in the first place. So that paradigm shift which has occurred is as a result to a large degree of genetic testing evolution. One of those tests is pre-implantation genetic testing.
PGTA detects which embryos have chromosome copy number change, which we call aneuploidy, which means either having less than 23 pairs of chromosomes or more than 23 pairs in embryos. PGTA can also detect smaller segmental changes of aneuploidy. Chromosomal aneuploidy can account for more than 50% of miscarriages.
You then have to fertilize the eggs with a sperm. So now you take another variable into the equation. And we had 8 out of 11 fertilized, which is a normal fertilization rate. So already things are going well. Functionality is being proven. Once the egg fertilizes and becomes an embryo, the embryo has to grow in the dish. And it grows for 5 to 6 days.
So, in Lori's case, 8 eggs started to divide with the sperm. 5 made it to pre-blastocyst, embryos that successfully divided to a stage that can grow to the next stage. 4 made it to blastocyst and were sent for PGTA.
I asked my friends in the reproductive health division for a lab that ran a validated PGTA test, and they found iGenomics USA. That was probably the most nerve-wracking time of the entire process, waiting to hear the results. Yeah. So out of the 4 that were sent for testing, only 1 came back normal. I was happy, but I was also sad. I knew that the one I had was a good one. And at that point, I really just solely trusted the science. And then I trusted that Dr. Kaplan would take over.
That's right. The others had trisomy, monosomy, and multiple chromosomal abnormalities. Had she not done PGTA testing, her chance of transferring a normal embryo was only 25%.
So without the testing, we would have gone in blind. Most likely, if it didn't work the first time due to my age, I don't know if I would have tried it a second time. And I definitely wouldn't have had time to probably try it a 3rd or 4th time.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is committed in advancing research in the comprehensive field of reproductive health in order to help our employees like Lori and future generations to achieve healthier outcomes.
And meet that healthy bundle of joy, Alexander George, who definitely keeps his mother on her toes, and she wouldn't have it any other way.
He is the love of my life. I never in a million years thought the emotions that I would feel and the love I feel even existed. He brings me so much joy and happiness every day. Even if I'm having a bad day. Mama? I love you. I had a relatively easy pregnancy. My family was very supportive. My coworkers at Thermo Fisher were very supportive. I really had a great network around me that I think helped with my pregnancy.
The field, especially in the egg freezing, is only less than 10 years old. Lori has already gone through that experience, and just the benefit of being exposed to the field by working in a company, it creates so much joy because it's truly fulfilling the mission that we have. Day in, day out, why do we wake up in the morning, go to work, so that we can make an impact in future generations together?
And when you see a woman like her go through all of this, the intensity, the decision makings, the determination, it's very humbling as a physician to see the resilience of the human spirit.
Unless it's against your own religious beliefs, I believe that the PGTA testing is critical. You're investing all this time, money, and effort, your emotions. Take that extra step and get the pre-implantation genetic testing for aneuploidy done. It's really going to not only improve your outcome, but it's also going to help avoid a miscarriage or potentially avoid some heartache.
If you or someone you know is going through IVF, make sure to ask your fertility clinic about PGTA and expanded carrier screening, which allows all to make the best, most informed decisions. Head to our website, thebalancingact.com, for more information. And we'll be right back.
The average baby goes through 5,000 diapers before being potty trained. I can't even remember that.
Changing all those diapers?
I don't want to remember it. And since 95% of families use disposable diapers, most of them end up in landfills, making several million tons of waste every year.
Luckily, diaper brands have come a long way and are now offering eco-friendly disposable diapers and wipes that are easier on your baby's tush and on the earth.
And joining us today is our very own forever freckled sister, Carrie Greenberg. Carrie, congratulations on little Leo.
So today we're talking about Earth and Eden. I know it's very special to you because your baby has eczema.
Yes, since the beginning, my baby has had eczema, and I struggled for months figuring out how to solve this problem.
And these are so soft.
They're unbelievably soft, but the greatest part about it is that there's no harsh chemicals. There's no fragrances, there's no parabens. So, you know, for me, if you're gonna put something on your baby's bottom, you want to make sure that it's going to be sensitive for their skin so that it doesn't trigger a breakout.
And I was looking on the box, Julie, and I saw it's free from 26 allergens, fragrance.
And you know, parents are so worried about what they're feeding their child. They're not worried as much about what's going on in their skin for 24 hours a day.
And that's not good. But you know what, I've heard word on the street is that the eco-friendly diaper is not as good as the national brand. Is that true?
I completely disagree. As a parent and a blogger, I try all different products, and you know, I've stuck with Earth and Eden because of obviously my eczema, but they're affordable, and I know it's the best option on the market for my baby.
And let's bring in the wipes. The wipes are also fantastic. 99% water, right?
Yes.
They have aloe and vitamin E.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You want something that's going to be calming on their
Water,
skin.
vitamin E.
Absolutely.
That just sounds
so
soothing.
much better,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So these diapers are exclusively on Amazon, and you can also check them out at earthandedenbrand.com.
For more information, you can always visit our website, thebalancingact.com.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Remember to head to our Facebook page and our website and follow us on Twitter.
And don't forget our Instagram at Julie and Olga.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. So long.